So hello everyone, my name is Ganesh Mirazkar. So I am a lecturer in Civil Engineering Department of Brahmadeva Mane Polytechnic Solapur. So today we are going to discuss about the overview of building components. In that specifically we will be discussing about the frame structure and load bearing structure. So course outcomes are to identify building components, to propose suitable type of foundation, to select suitable type of masonry, to propose relevant means of communication, to select relevant materials for building finishes, to execute safe building practice. So this is a load bearing structure, okay, where we can see that a roof truss is resting on a wall. A wall is connected with the foundation. Here we don't observe any beam or column. So this is the basic difference between the framed structure and the load bearing structure. So this is the framed structure wherein this flat plate like structure is resting on this horizontal member which is known as a beam. This horizontal member again it is connected with a vertical member which is known as a compression member, that is column, and again it is column is connected with the foundation, and the complete assembly, the complete structure is resting on the hard soil strata. So this is the framed structure, okay, where we can see a flat surface, flat element or member which is known as a slab which is resting on this horizontal member which is known as a beam, right? This is a column. So here the load distribution will be from slab to beam to column to foundation, and ultimately foundation to hard soil strata. And in load bearing wall we can see there is a load distribution from this roof to the walls, and from walls to foundation, and to foundation hard soil strata. So what is the difference? We have seen that. So here there is a load which is acting on the wall. Here we can build a wall over here which will not carry any load. So basic difference is in load bearing structure there is a load from the roof, and again we know that at roof or the major loads which are acting on the surface structures are dead load, live load, and wind load. Again dead load is nothing but the self weight, live load is moving load which is not a constant, and wind load is generated due to wind pressure. So dead load, live load, wind load, combination of these three load will going to act on this structure, okay. Due to that action, that due to that loads, tensile action, compressive action, torsion, shear, bending, it will happen in the members, okay. So here, so distribution will be from wall to foundation. Slab, here it can be a slab also, okay. From slab to wall, wall to foundation, foundation to hard soil strata. That is the load distribution. Again we can say that in framed structure thickness of wall is little bit less as compared with the load bearing wall, as here load is there. The walls are supposed to balance the load, that's why thickness of wall should be more as compared with the wall. So as thickness go on increasing, here the carpet area will decrease, okay, means the area which we can utilize during movement, okay. And here in frame structure as the thickness is less, so carpet area will increase, that is useful area, that is known as carpet area. Again we can say that it is economical up to 2 to 3 stories, okay. And here the frame structure is suitable for high rise buildings, 3 to 4 to 5 story, any number of story up to 8 9, we can say G plus 7, G plus 8, those structures are feasible. That kind of construction is feasible for framed structure. But here as after 2 to 3 stories it will not be feasible to provide to go for load bearing structure. So for small structures, structures having small height, load bearing walls are feasible. Again as there is a load, that is the masonry is there, brick masonry or stone masonry. So these are the masonry, these are the structures which are weak in tension, right? If earthquake occurs, there is no provision to sustain that kind of loading over here. So what should be done that afterward, if such case happens, there should be some additional features are to be provided, which we will see after next slides. So basic difference we have discussed right now in frame structure and load bearing structure. Here the subsoil condition is suitable for hard soil strata, load bearing structure, and here for any type of soil we can go for framed structure. 3 to 4 stories feasible up for load bearing structures. Multi-story building can be constructed, means any number of stories we can provide. So load transfer we have discussed from slab to wall, wall to footing, footing to subsoil in case of load bearing. Here from slab to beam, beam to column, column to footing, and footing to subsoil. Now resistance to vibration. So load bearing wall structures are less resistant to earthquake, that we have discussed right now. So carpet area is available is less in case of load bearing structure, and carpet area is available, more carpet area is available in case of framed structure. Possibility of openings means limitations. There are limitations in case of load bearing, as the load is carrying the load, the wall is carrying the load. If you try to change the position of bricks or wall, so the complete load transfer mechanism will change, so it will not be feasible option. So in case of framed structure, wall act as a partition, so we can change according to the situation. So possibility of openings, as the walls are carrying the load, there should be less openings. And here we can provide large opening, as the walls are not carrying any load. Thickness of wall, more thickness is required. Here we can provide less thickness, in up to 45 centimeter, here up to 10 centimeter we can provide thickness. Time of construction required is more for load bearing structure, right? Here it is less comparatively. Maintenance cost will be more, here the maintenance cost will be less. Materials will be brick, stone, concrete block for the frame structure, and for frame best material will be RCC. Steel frames are also there, but as far as residential buildings are concerned, RCC is the material which generally used. Okay, maintenance cost is more for load bearing and it is less for framed structure. So this is the composite structure, means the combination of both, that is the framed and load bearing structure. We can see here the outer walls are load bearing, means the wall is carried by these walls. The load is carried by these exterior walls, and here the column is provided as a intermediate support, right? So slab is resting on beam, here intermediate support is provided, which is RCC column, right? And exterior walls are carrying the load, so that load is connected with the foundation. Okay, next let us discuss what is to be done to overcome the weakness of the masonry in case of earthquake. So we can provide a vertical reinforcement over here, as we know that the stone masonry or brick masonry is weak in tension as compared with the compression. You can provide horizontal bands at roof level, lintel level, and plinth level. And as we are providing reinforcement concrete, as we are providing steel reinforcement, here also in this structure we can provide steel rods, vertical reinforcement, right? And here how the block will or wall will act. Here it will deflect, here due to larger area the larger resistance will be there. So we can the structure should be such that there should be a proper distribution of the load. To transfer the load from this side to that side, we provide L-shaped dowel bars over here, so that the load distribution is proper, okay, without any much deformation. So thank you very much.